You guys, excuse my French, but I'm freaking the fuck out. Matt and I just realized, because I don't know, because I'm a freaking dumbass and I did not put two and two together, that we not only saw, but saw like a blowout of a situation between Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie in Wyoming when we were there. I'm freaking the fuck out. Yes, we have already talked to authorities. Like, how I did not put two and two together that this happened, like, I don't know. So I'm following this case. Matt's not. He's a guy. He has other shit going on. He could probably care less. I'm filling him in on this case a couple days ago, and I guess maybe he Googled it and saw a picture of Brian. Matt has an insane photographic memory. And so for 2 days now, he's like, I fucking know that guy Brian. Like, I don't know how, but I know this guy Brian. Like, I've seen him before. When Matt says that, anyway, we were in Wyoming. So Matt woke up this morning and he's freaking out. And he's like, oh my God, I know how he looks familiar. Nina, we saw them in Wyoming. They were the couple fighting at the restaurant. We were at this restaurant, you guys. Friday, August 27th, 1 p.m., sitting right next to them. They got kicked out of the restaurant and were fighting with the hostess. They were fighting with the hostess. She was hysterically crying. And she walked out and she was crying and she was staying on the sidewalk, and I was watching the whole thing unfold. And he walked back in the restaurant and he's fighting with the hostess, and I didn't know what happened. I don't even know if they got kicked out, but they like left abruptly, and like she was standing on the sidewalk crying, and he walked back in and was like screaming at the hostess, and then walked back out, and then he walked back in like 4 more times to talk to the manager and to like tell the hostess off, and like all right, I'm calming down and I'm going to try to speak more clearly. I don't even know if these videos are uploading or if they're uploading in order or if they make any sense. I'm just like freaking out right now. I'm having like an out of body experience. How I did not remember this situation, like it just like left my memory. Like, we stayed in Wyoming for another 4 or 5 days for a wedding, and we just had like an amazing trip, and like I didn't think about the couple fighting in the restaurant ever again. But Matt like knew he had seen this guy before and he could not drop it, and then it just like clicked this morning. He woke up out of bed and he was like screaming bloody murder, and he was like, oh my God, I know, I remember it was them in the restaurant. And it just like, I felt like my blood like left my body. I was like, oh my God, like you're right, like it was them. It's just crazy. It feels surreal. Like now I feel, I don't know, just it was weird. And I remember this. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to try to go like more into detail now. I just wanted to get like the general, just like the gist of it out there. I feel like I'm going to cry. This is so fucking weird. I went to the bath. They were sitting right next to us, like right fucking next to us. And we were both sitting right by the hostess stand, right by the front door. I went to the bathroom. I came back and they were like abruptly leaving. Like something happened. At first, my first thought was like they were displeased with the service and they were walking out, or they were trying to get out of paying their bill. But it was kind of like a scene. And I was like zoned in for some reason, and Matt was like on his phone, and I was like, babe, like put your phone down, like something is like going on. You guys, it was like a fucking scene, like something that doesn't happen every day at a restaurant. The way he was acting, she was crying, she was upset. This had to have been right before she died. So she walks out, she's upset, she's crying, and he's like more angry. Like you could tell like it's more sadness for her, and she's crying for some reason. I don't know if she was embarrassed or what, because I don't know. I couldn't hear. I don't know what was going on. I could just see what was unfolding. And so she's standing on the sidewalk. I could see her through the front door, and she's standing on the sidewalk crying, and he walks out with her, but then like right away turns around, walks right back in, and he's, kind of like violently like talking to the hostess, and you could tell he's angry, and they're just kind of like doing the whole like sorry, like we don't know what to tell you kind of thing. You could tell he was relentless. He wouldn't drop it. Whatever it was, he wouldn't drop it. He walked back in the restaurant probably 4 more times, just to kind of make a scene and just to get his point across, which I don't know what that was. I really don't know what happened, but she just apologized. I think she was telling him like, come on, like just drop it, let's go. And she like looked at the hostess and she was just like I'm sorry. And that was it. And it's just like I don't even know. I don't even have words right now. It's just weird. It's crazy. And I would have never remembered that. I would have never, like, I was so obsessed with the case and the story, and like I didn't even really think for the longest time at the fact that we were in Wyoming at the same time as them. Like, it didn't even cross my mind. And that story of like a couple fighting in a restaurant, or that, you know, that situation, I would have never thought of that. Like I said, Matt, he just has this like extremely like strong photographic memory, and it just hit him. And without a shadow of a doubt, I'm 1,000% positive it was them. If you think it sounds crazy, like, I agree. It sounds crazy to me too. Like, I'm still in shock. Like, I can't believe that this happened. I can't believe that we not only like saw them, like we didn't just see them walking on the street, like we witnessed an incident, like a whole like ordeal. Like, it's crazy. And I didn't put this out there for attention or for any other reason, for any other ulterior. I didn't have any motive. Simply just wanted to put this out there because, one, it's crazy, and two, I hope that it helps with maybe adding the timeline together of what happened leading up to her death. And that's it. So you guys, I don't know what to say. I've never experienced so much hate and negativity and cyberbullying before in my life. I'm a mom to a little girl, and if something like that ever happened to my daughter, I would want to know every event that took place leading up to her death. And not to mention, her family even came out saying just that. I would never lie about something like this. Unfortunately, it's not something that we connected the dots on immediately. It was 3 weeks ago. We were there for a wedding. It was something that happened, and we didn't really think about it again. It was as if you were at a restaurant today and you saw somebody acting as so, and you'd kind of be like, okay, that was weird. And that was like, the fact that we didn't connect the dots sooner might seem strange to some people, but it is what it is. That's how it happened. We got hit with a Category 5 hurricane towards the end of our trip. We're from New Orleans. We couldn't go home. We had to evacuate. Our lives have been a little turned upside down. We just got home. We were just able to return home. We just now started becoming slightly interested in the case and hearing about it. And it wasn't until Matt saw the photograph of Brian that he even remembered that incident happened at the restaurant. So to everybody hearing about it for the first time, of course, they're like, oh my God, this is such a big deal. How could you not remember this? But to us, it was just a small fleeting moment, and we forgot about it. And that's just the honest truth. I mean, I don't know what everybody wants me to say. I mean, damned if you do, damned if you don't. If I don't come out with my story, then what a horrible person I am, that I'm not helping solve this case and not coming out with the information I had. Yeah, it's a crazy situation. But yeah, I'm 1,000,000% positive it was them. The FBI, news stations have already reached out to the restaurant, and the restaurant has now to confirm that they were there at the 27th at the same time we were, and that incident did take place. I don't know why no one has spoken about it sooner. It wasn't a scene. There wasn't like yelling per se. It was more of like a commotion. You can tell he was angry, and he was I would say just causing more of like a commotion. It wasn't a scene. He wasn't screaming at the top of his lungs, but he was very evidently angry, and that was very crystal clear. And she was very upset. She was crying, and she walked out of the restaurant immediately. He, like I said before, exited and re-entered the restaurant several times at one point. But if I can leave this story with any message, it would just be to be kind. The messages and comments I have received just in the past few hours are terrifying. I knew that bullying and hatred existed. I've never received it to this degree. Why I'm receiving it, I don't know. It's unfortunate if people think that I would fabricate a story like this, but that's honestly out of my control, and there's nothing I can do about it. This story happened. It's true. It's confirmed. I am sticking by my original intent, and that is to help. And that's it.